Wait, I'ma take y'all way back, way back. For the old school, before the Maybach. Or when we came back and put a Maple Leafs on the Jays hat. I was on court chillin' with my niggas on the corner fucking with the fence.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Thomas Martinez, and I'm 19 years old. I've been working out for 4 years, and pretty much I just want to go over like my storyline, my vision, how I want this fitness channel to go. And just to begin with, I kind of started lifting like in 8th grade in middle school, and pretty much I was a skinny kid. I skateboarded a lot, so that might be one of the reasons why. But I actually developed like an eating disorder. I was anorexic, so my body was pretty unhealthy at the time. Even my friends noticed it. They're like, "Hey, Thomas, yo, like, you know, you're pretty skinny, dude. Like, you got low self-esteem, you know." And I always ignored the subject. But moving on that summer, my parents took me to the hospital, and then the doctors pretty much tested me out, saying like, "Hey, if you don't get medical treatment or help anytime soon, you're gonna die in 2 weeks." And just as stubborn kid as I was, I didn't listen. So about a week later, my parents tricked me into like going to the hospital again, and I was put in there. I stayed there for 2.5 months, my whole summer, and it was pretty rough for me. You know, I was put with a bunch of other kids that had the same problems I did. I had anorexia, eating disorder, and stuff like that. Before that, I was literally eating like 700 calories, you know, and I wouldn't even eat dinner at times. I would come home from school, I would run 3 miles, and then I'll come back to my house. I'll lift some weights in my room and stuff like that. It would probably be like 15-pound weights at the time is what I had. And I was a skinny kid. I weighed like 95 pounds. I was like only 5'4". So, you know, I got, like, people could tell like from my skin, like it was just so pale, and I just looked like a skeleton pretty much. Yeah, I was put in the hospital. There was a bunch of other kids that had the same problems I did. There's also people with depression. There was also kids that had obesity. And so they had just a certain program for everybody, but everybody was pretty much different, like I said. So they had, for me specifically, they had a nutritionist, they had a therapist, they had a group of therapists, and what they did pretty much is that they all worked together. They had like wrote down like a certain nutrition dietary plan for me. So literally every day I have like a folder. I'll write down each of my meals. I eat 6 meals a day. And like gradually they'll raise up my macros and such. But yeah, man, I was put in there for 2.5 months. It was so uncomfortable. Everything just didn't seem real. And like, I don't know, it's just like the worst part about it is like, you know, they'll have you wake up early in the morning, like at 5 o'clock. They'll have you put on a robe. You'll be like butt naked walking all the way down the hallway, and they'll weigh yourself in kilograms. And I just remember, like, man, like, you don't have no electronics, you don't have any contact with your peers, you don't have any, like, can't really socialize unless just only with the people there. And I necessarily, like, I just thought I just didn't fit in the first place. So eventually my dad, he lost his job, he got laid off, so that's the only reason why I got out. And you know, like, the insurance couldn't cover it, so my therapist called me in one day. He's like, "Hey, Thomas, this is probably gonna be the last time we're gonna have the session." And deep in my mind, I'm just like, fuck yeah, you know. But all in reality, like, I was kind of bummed that my dad lost his job, but I was kind of glad, because, you know, like, I was about to, you know, I was gonna get out, I was gonna go into high school, so I was looking forward into that. But also on the side, like I said, I didn't communicate with any of my friends during that whole summer. And I don't know, once I went into high school, I was just so confused, like what group of people who I should be with, and I just didn't know. And at the time, I was supposed to be in advanced band, I was supposed to be put in advanced band, and they didn't accept me because I had to be in band camp, which is obviously in the summer, and since I didn't attend, they wanted to put me in intermediate. I'm like, nah, fuck y'all. So I had to find an alternative for that subject, so I automatically went to show choir. So I was put in show choir, and I met a group of people there too, and they all play football. They all had the same mindset as I did about lifestyle. I wanted to get fit, I wanted to look aesthetic, I just wanted to build muscle. That's all I wanted to do, and I learned a lot from just being in that hospital. I knew a little bit about nutrition before I went to the hospital, but everything was just kind of fucked up in my mind. Like, I just didn't know what I should be doing and stuff like that. But I got a good mindset since I went to that hospital, and I actually learned a lot because the nutritionist, the lady, she taught me a lot about it, even though she was not supposed to, and I learned a lot about it. And so I left with a good, you know, baseline of knowledge about nutrition, such and such. So anyways, like I was saying, I was in the show choir. A good friend of mine at the time, he was doing P90X, and so I decided to get myself P90X too. I did it 3 times, so it was 90 days, 90 days, 90 days. I did it like all consistently, and my mom was too cheap at the time to buy a scale, so she'll literally take me to Target and she'll pull out a scale out of the box, and I'll literally weigh myself in the aisles. And it's not that she was cheap, she was just so skeptical about me like working out again. She didn't want me to die, obviously, you know. She just didn't want me to go down that line again, and I was pretty confident about it. So once going into high school, I weighed 105 pounds, and I was 5'5". I did lose weight at the first 30 days of doing P90X, but I went down to like 99 pounds, but I manipulated my calorie intake. So then until then, I like told myself, like, you know, don't be scared to just, you know, take the extra leap of faith to like, you know, like what's the worst that can happen? Like, you know, if you gain weight or whatever, it don't matter. So I increased my calorie intake, and I literally took this shit seriously. So during that freshman going into sophomore year, I say I did it about like twice already, and I gained all the way up to 140. And I was still the same height. I was 140 pounds, and it was pretty motivating for people to notice, like, you know, like, hey Thomas, look, like, hey man, you're building muscle, like, what are you doing? And I told them, I was like, hey, I'm doing P90X, you know. And they said like, hey, I want to do it too, you know, like, hit me up whenever, like, you know, like, we should work out sometime and stuff like that. And that's what the spark just kind of hit, where, you know, like, I love this lifestyle. I wanted to do this like forever, but eventually, you know, like, you know, you get tired of watching DVDs over and over and over. I didn't want to do P90X the rest of my life. So that sophomore year, I drifted away to doing my own thing, and that's when I actually just started to like make the most progress out of anything, you know. Literally, like, those first 2 and 4 years of your weightlifting journey, that's when you make the most gains. So I ended up bulking about, I'd say, like 190. Yeah, like 190, and that was going from like sophomore, junior, senior year, just of lifting and stuff. And pretty much I gained a little bit of fat, so I did my first diet ever, and I dieted down to about 165. I was pretty lean. I was probably, I would say, like 8-10% body fat, you know. It was my first cut, so I didn't know my body that well. But since then, I've cut it about twice, so now I'm pretty familiar with how my body works now. But yeah, it's pretty much like my storyline. That's just kind of how it went for me. A lot of people don't know that side of me, that side of the story, how I just began growing into this lifestyle. And what I really want to do is, with this fitness channel, I really want to help people just achieve their goals, whether it's gaining muscle, whether it's losing weight, anything at all, you know, just getting stronger, building that self-confidence. And hopefully this making this channel is going to help people just like learn from like either me putting out tips or me putting out workout videos and such. So, you know, I'm eventually I'm gonna become a personal trainer. I'm taking personal training classes right now at my college, so it's just a hustle. And right now I'm pretty confident about, you know, just helping people, and that's all I want to do. And I want to upload at least 3 times a week. I want to, you know, just be sure I keep it consistent, you know, just throw some footage out for y'all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my story, that's my vision. I hope y'all liked it. Give a thumbs up if you did, and, you know, just comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch y'all guys later.